Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Diablo 3. My name is Wilfred. So in today's video, I'd like to share with you a guide on the Rathma set dungeon, Act 2, Temples of the Firstborn. Then you backtrack into the cave all the way to the exit of the cave and you'll find the set dungeon. Now this set dungeon is rather tricky, so for those who are interested in the build and gear that I've used for this set dungeon, do check out the time code below. The second part of the video I'll show you what I've got in terms of my gear, in terms of the rune, in terms of the skill that I picked up. So now with the 6 set bonus, this is where you can enter the set dungeon of the Bones of Rathma. Now the objective is rather interesting. You have to accumulate a total 500 seconds cooldown reduction on Army of the Dead, as well as you need to raise 100 skeleton mages. So the mages part is the easy bit. Don't use the singularity mage, but use any mage that you would like to use. Army of the Dead, make sure you pop it right at the beginning of the dungeon. That will help you start the cooldown kind of thing. Now every mob that your minion attack will have a chance to reduce the Army of the Dead cooldown. So do summon your minion as much as you can, and just keep going at it. But the essence of it is that don't kill off the mob too fast, because when you kill them off too fast, it will not count as like a cooldown kind of thing. Now the bulls, the elite that you've seen here, it does charge you and it will one-shot you if you are in the path, and actually you've seen it later on. Fortunately, I do have final service. So you see that I'm popping in the second Army of the Dead the moment I got it like off the cooldown. Just aim somewhere in the ground that is not near any mobs, because you do need your minion to start like attacking and making sure that they are able to get some kind of like a cooldown reduction of it. So it's a chance thingy. Sometimes it does cooldown, sometimes it doesn't. And also you can see that I do use things like the Creepify Borrowed Time rune to help me to get more cooldown if I can. And I have an Indium as well, so when an elite die, I think it will reduce the cooldown, which accounts, because I'm just checking the video right now. The moment the the elite went down, it sort of like, I think it counted a little bit as well. So just keep popping just keep progressing the map a little bit. You have to pick up everything. It's rather high number of mobs, so it's something that you need to make sure that you are pretty thorough. With the blood rush kind of like ability for you to quickly get from places would be helpful as well, but more importantly, just make sure that you tune your damage so as not to kill off the target too fast. Although now that I look into it, I do kill off the target quite fast as well, but probably not as fast as I would with the full gear. Alright, so the second part of the video, I do talk about the ways and means for you to tone down your damage, as well as the means and ways for you to further reduce the cooldown kind of thing. So I've completed the objective already. You just have to kill off like certain number of monster, and in order to master the dungeon, by the way, just a reminder, you have to kill off every single thing in this map. So it does get a little bit exciting towards the end, especially a map that is not exactly like just simple map. You need to go to different kind of branches and so on. Just keep a lookout for anything that may just kill off the mobs. Now I try to time myself a little bit, because I want to be pop the last Army of the Dead before the so yep, that is the cooldown that is all required. So I've actually done it way faster than required. So it's kind of nice. The rest of it, just making sure that I pick the enemy one by one. All of them are being picked up, and that's all. Just 12 more monster, 10 more monster, and so on. And the last bit, I thought I was done over here, but in fact there was still like a few of them hiding somewhere. I have about 1 minute to go through the map. So I was kind of lucky though, by the way, because in order to comb through the map, you probably need more than 1 minute, even with my blood rush kind of like ability. So I'm trying to find the last two, and I think right there I found it. So that's part 1 of the video on how I did it. It wasn't that hard. Then after that, in part 2 of the video, I'll show you the gear and build I use. Use up almost 4 minutes to get it done, but at least that is another checkbox for the season journey for season 17. All right. Part 2 of the video, I'd like to share with you the gear and the build I've used to complete the Rathma set dungeon. Now, this is one set dungeon that you need to bring down your power so as not to kill the mobs too fast, because in your set bonus, you have the minions have a chance to reduce the cooldown of Army of the Dead by 1 second each time they deal damage. So you want the your minions to keep hitting target, but you don't want them to hit it too hard, such a way that they just keep killing off everything too fast. So that's one thing. So that go without saying, you should have a full set of Rathma items. The rest of the gear is not really that important. The most important thing is just take down gear. Now, if you do have like the circle of evolve, that will be very useful, because every time you summon a mage, you summon like double of them. So instead of having 5, you got 10 of them. So that helps you a lot in triggering the minion kind of attack. Now, you could use the army, the skeleton as well, those melee character. It's just that because I'm having a set of Joseph, it does kind of like make these skeleton command skeletons a little bit stronger than I wish to. So if you don't have this ring, then most likely you need to have the skeleton, which is the let me show it to you, which is this one here, command skeletons, if you feel that you need an extra skeleton for you to trigger those kind of like cooldown itself. All right, so that is essentially it, but I don't need that, because eventually I just pop the mages and I tone down my power such a way that it does give me the kind of cooldown reduction. I do have bone spike, but I seldom use it. Set dungeon is a weird setting whereby you don't necessarily need to have a full set of power to finish the job. So mainly it's just the mage that keep popping, and Army of the Dead, of course. I try to target Army of the Dead in somewhere not to kill off the trash mob, and also I'm used to Death Valley, so just make sure that I don't have additional damage as I want to, because all these are kind of like, you don't want that. Blood Rush is important for you to pick a few loose mob in the end. You could pick this one, or you can put the metabolism if you really want to just zoom past the map, but I think this was in the end good enough for me. Last but not least, these are the things that you should pick, or depending on your build as well, but Final Service is one that you really should, because the bull or the elites that will charge onto you may one-shot you as well. That become the end of the dungeon. Now, I do have the Creepify as well. Now, the Creepify would reduce the cooldown for every enemy curse up to a maximum of 20%. I do not know exactly if this really interact with Army of the Dead on the set dungeon kind of like objective, because I know for sure this will help to bring down the cooldown reduction, but I probably need to check the video a little bit further. I have it just in case. So what it does is that you can decreepify the curse or the enemy ahead of time, and then you get a maximum of 20% cooldown reduction. Kind of it may help, may not. Cube wise, again, not really a lot of like innovation here. These are not really the thing that you really need to put in. It can be anything, but Indium, is a good kind of like legendary that you could use to reduce the cooldown of the power of after you've killed off an elite pet. Again, I do not know whether it really interact with the objective or not, but I have it just in case. So in the end, I managed to finish the set dungeon rather easily. So I'm hoping that that gives you a little bit of hope to get it done as well. It's one of the harder set dungeon, but it's not impossible. So I hope this video is useful to you. Season 17, one of the conquests is to complete 8 set dungeons. So as I complete this journey, I will just post more video on some of the set dungeons I've done. All right, good luck with your set dungeon.